Good day, learners! Welcome again to Mathematics 7. I am your teacher, Teacher Ann, and today's episode is all about evaluating algebraic expressions.
At the end of this lesson, you are expected to perform the correct way of evaluating algebraic expressions.
Algebra is defined as a branch of mathematics of which generalizes facts in arithmetic. We use letters and punctuations to create words or phrases for us to be able to speak or write. On the other hand, algebra uses expressions which we call as algebraic expressions that uses letters along with numbers and operation symbols.
Suppose numbers are assigned to letters of the alphabet as follows: A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, D equals 4, and so on up to Z equals 26. Using this, let's find out the value of a name by adding the value of its digits. For example, Ann, which is equals to A1 plus N, 14, plus another N, which is 14, plus 5, and that would be equals to 34. What would be the numerical value of your name?
Letters in mathematics are called variables. Replacing a variable with a number demonstrates the substitution property of equality. What is a substitution property of equality? Substitution property of equality tells us that if two quantities are equal, one quantity can be replaced by the other. In symbols, it says that for all numbers A and B, if A and B are equal, then A may be replaced by B.
When a number is substituted for the variable in an algebraic expression, the algebraic expression takes a numerical value. Finding the value is called evaluating the algebraic expression. There are at least two steps involved in evaluating an algebraic expression. First, replacing the variable by the given number value, and this is what we call as substitution. Second, performing the indicated arithmetic following the order of operations, in this case the PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS stands for P, parenthesis, E for exponents, M for multiplication, D for division, A for addition, and S for subtraction.
Your task for this lesson is to complete this table. But for you to be able to perform the task correctly, let us learn from the different examples of how to evaluate algebraic expressions.
In this first example, the algebraic expression is x minus 5, where x is equals to negative 3. This means that for all x in the algebraic expression, it will be replaced by negative 3. Ulihan sa negative 3 ang x variable. Thus, it will now be negative 3 minus 5 after replacing or substituting or pagpuli sa x og negative 3. The next step is to proceed performing the operation. Remember the subtraction of integers? From the negative 3, we need to get positive 5. And since no 5 positives are available, we need to add 5 zero pairs for us to take out the 5 positives. And kung makita ninyo, mabilin ang 5 ka red circles uban sa 3 ka red circles, which will give us the answer of negative 8 since ipagtapok naman lang nato sila kay pareho raman og sign. The next algebraic expression is 9x minus 24y plus 15, where x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 2. The algebraic expression has two variables already that we need to replace with their corresponding value. Now, let's start replacing x with 3 and y with 2. Next, following the order of operations, the PEMDAS rule, we start with the parenthesis. Kay number raman ang sulod sa parenthesis and so far walay exponent, so this means adto ta sa multiplication. As you can see, we have 9 times 3 and 24 times 2. This means proceed ta sa pag-multiply. 9 times 3 is 27 and 24 times 2 is 48. Of course, we simply copy the rest. That means the algebraic expression becomes 27 minus 48 plus 15. If you can recall, in performing operations, we start from left to right. This means we will answer first what is 27 minus 48, and whatever is the answer on this will be added to 15. Remember the operations on integers? This one is subtraction. From 27, you have to get 48. But ang 27 kulang og 21 para mahimong 48. Now, if we will have to imagine the model, sa pagdugang nimo og 21 ka zero pairs, waon nimo tanan ang 27 daan ka yellow circles ug ang giduga nga 21 yellow circles to make it 48 yellow circles. And what will remain are the 21 red circles, which means that the answer is negative 21. Finally, we will have to answer what is negative 21 plus 15. Now this time, we are adding two integers of different signs. And correct, we have zero pairs on this. And we know that there are 15 zero pairs for this problem. Thus, what will remain is negative 6. So this means to say that when x is 3 and y is 2, 9x minus 24y plus 15 is negative 6. This is the next example of algebraic expression. 4x squared plus 10 where x is negative 2. Now, let's replace the x with negative 2. As you see, the exponent of x is not changed after replacing simply because negative 2 is for x. This means tanan dili x, dili dapat usabon or hilabtan. Another thing, notice that I put the negative 2 inside a parenthesis. This is because whenever mag-abay ang variable and a number, the operation there is always multiplication, and the symbol parenthesis means multiplication. Next, following the PEMDAS rule as always, we see a parenthesis that has an exponent of 2. So this will be the first thing we have to perform. Now, negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2. Duha ka negative 2 ang i-multiply. And again, apply what you have learned from the operations on integers. Same sign is always positive. Then the answer is positive 4 or 4. So we have now 4 times 4 plus 10. Next, we have to multiply since multiplication comes first than addition in the PEMDAS rule. And 4 times 4 is 16. So we have now 16 plus 10. And the answer is 26. This means that 4x squared plus 10 is equals to 26 whenever x is negative 2. Our algebraic expression now is negative 4 times the quantity of x plus 2 plus y plus 15, where x is 3 and y is negative 2. Again, we always start from replacing the variables of their corresponding value, and x is now 3 while y is negative 2. We put parentheses for negative 2 to emphasize that the negative sign belongs to y, and of course, we copy plus 15. Next, we solve first what is inside the parentheses, and 3 plus 2 is 5. We have now negative 4 times 5 plus negative 2 plus 15. Next, we perform the multiplication, and so we need to solve first negative 4 times 5, and that is negative 20. The two numbers have different signs, so the final answer is a negative number. Thus, at this point, we have negative 20 plus negative 2 plus 15. We solve from left to right, 2 at a time. So this means we solve first what is negative 20 plus negative 2. This time, we are adding integers with the same sign. So we simply add them and follow the common sign. Kaya wala man tayo 0 pair ani. And the answer is negative 22. So finally, we have negative 22 plus 15. And we are now adding two integers of different signs. And yes, obviously, we have 0 pairs here. And to be exact, we have 15 0 pairs. And by taking out the 15 0 pairs, the answer will turn out to be negative 7. Thus, negative 4 times the quantity of x plus 2 plus y plus 15 is negative 7 whenever x is 3 and y is negative 2. Finally, we have this algebraic expression 2 times the quantity of a plus b squared plus 6, where a equals to 2 and b is equals to negative 3. Again, the first thing to do is replace the variables with their corresponding value. Next, following the PEMDAS rule, we have to solve first what is inside the parentheses, 2 plus negative 3. This is now adding two integers with different signs. Thus, we expect to have 0 pairs. And we have two 0 pairs here, which means then that the answer will be negative 1. Next, we deal with the exponent. And negative 1 squared simply means negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1 or 1. Again, it's positive because they have the same signs. And so the next thing to do is multiply. And that would mean 2 times 1, which is equals to 2. And finally, we add 2 and 6 to have an answer of 8. This means then that 2 times the quantity of a plus b squared plus 6 is equals to 8 whenever our a is 2 and b is negative 3.
Now let's go back to this given task, in which y is equals to x squared plus bx minus 2. And then, we have to replace x for negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. To complete the table, we need to replace x with different values from negative 2 to 1. And every time we replace x with a different value, we get a corresponding value of y. This pairing of x and y values are what we call as ordered pairs. The concept of ordered pair is also an important concept as we go deeper in the world of algebra. Now, if x is equals to negative 2, our y is equals to negative 10. If our x is negative 1, our y becomes negative 4. If we replace x with 0, we get a y that is equals to negative 2. And if x becomes 1, we get a y that is equals to 2. And finally, when we replace x with 2, our y becomes 8. How did you do? Were you able to get the correct answer? I'm sure you did. But it is always important that you always give time to practice. Deliberate practice is very important. As what they have said, practice makes perfect. Indeed, it is true. So, please give time to always practice what you have learned on this lesson. Congratulations, learners! You have completed this lesson. Let's see each other on our next episode as we go deeper in learning Mathematics 7. This has been your teacher, Teacher Ann, wishing you a wonderful day ahead. God bless and keep safe.